This is Mid-Atlantic Women in Agriculture's Wednesday webinar.
I'm Christy Mannering. I'm a web developer at the University of Delaware, and I am also the web developer for Cooperative Extension in Delaware. So the big question about why do I need to have a Facebook page for my business? Well, you can create engagement and grasp an audience previously unreached. So if you know that there are millions of people on Facebook and you want to be able to reach a handful or few thousand of those people, Facebook allows you that opportunity for free. There are also premium ways to reach people on Facebook. I say premium, but really $5 can do it. You can boost a post or create an ad for your page and tell it exactly the demographic you would like it to reach, the geographic location you would like it to reach, and fine-tuned down to the hobbies. So it's important if you are a gardening center and you create a Facebook page, you can reach people in that area. You can tell them about your deals. You can tell them about your expert advice on different crops or flowers or whatever it might be. So it's very helpful to have a Facebook business page. I'm going to go through some of the steps in creating a Facebook business page. It's actually very, very easy. The hardest part about a Facebook page is maintaining it. And it doesn't have to be hard, but it is more difficult than actually creating it, which is probably why there are so many Facebook pages out there now. You can find a Facebook page on, I think it's the hobby of liking the sound of your voice when you're talking into a fan, which I remember doing as a child. It makes you sound like a robot. So if somebody can create a page for that and get involvement and engagement, I guarantee you that you can do this for your business as well. Let me go back. So creating it, you can go onto Facebook and just type in create page, or there's a URL here. It's facebook.com/pages/create. The first step to this will be to choose your category. There are 6 options. You can't really see them in my screenshot here, but you will choose local business, you will choose company or organization, a cause, a different artist or band. You can create sort of like a fan page if you really like a certain author. And a lot of authors are on Facebook, and they answer questions about their characters. It's really cool. I love to read, so I am fans of a lot of my favorite authors. So this is where you would start. You would choose a company. You would choose higher education. If you were to choose company or organization, it will say what type of organization, and then it has a drop-down. Education is one of those. Community is one of those. So it makes it pretty easy. It fills it all out for you. The next screen that you will see, and I started creating one while I was developing this presentation that I called testing session. So I created a Facebook page called testing session so I could get screenshots and you would see what I see. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is to add information about yourself. So the About page is very important, and the description that people will see when they first get to your page is right underneath the cover photo and the profile photo on pages. There's a short description and a long description, and I recommend putting your web address in both of those. If you put your web address in the short description, it will show up below your profile image, which is important. It's an immediate call to action almost. So don't skip this. It does allow you to skip. I don't recommend doing that because you might not remember to go back. The next thing you'll do is to put in your profile picture. We're going to get to actual sizes of that in a second. So here's some basic information. Before you sit down to set up your Facebook page, just have an idea of this so that you can make the process more simple for yourself. We already talked about the category. You're going to put in your business name or the name of your place, your street address, your zip code, and your phone. Now, this is important because it allows people to find you by geo-targeting. So if they're looking for a garden center, as an example again, they can say garden center and type in a zip code, and it will pull up the Facebook business pages that are in that area. So if you leave this blank, you've lost those people, and it's important that people who are local to you know what you're doing. There are many settings in a Facebook page, but don't be overwhelmed. You have access to them from the time you start the page till the time you close the page. It doesn't turn off a function if you forget to do it. So I'd put a screenshot just to show some of the things. And my best advice to you is to poke around. If you don't know what page roll means, click on page roll. If you don't know what posting ability means, then click on it. Posting ability allows you to say, yes, I have a Facebook page, and people who come to my page are allowed to post on it. It will not show up in your main timeline. It will show up on the right of the page, and it will say posts from other people. And then you can click on that. You can see what people are saying about you. Now, you do have to moderate that if you allow people to do this, because sometimes you'll get spam. Somebody who has a Facebook page of their own will come to your page, they'll leave a comment, and it'll have nothing to do with your business. So you can go in there and remove that. I do recommend allowing people to post. So for the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources at the University of Delaware, we allow people to post on our page, and we've had alumni post to say what they're doing. We've had students post to say that they heard a professor at a session and it was a great seminar and they highly recommend it. So we can get feedback on there without asking, and it's very valuable to know the impact you're making unsolicited. So having the posting ability turned on is important. Messages, people can contact you in private messages just like they can if you have a regular Facebook profile. That one is, I will admit to you, that one is hard for me. We do allow people to message us, but I don't always remember to look there. So I actually had to put a note in my Outlook calendar to pop up and remind me, Christy, check your Facebook messages on the college and extension accounts so that I make sure I'm not missing anything from anyone, because that would be rude. I mean, essentially you are a business, and customer service is an important part of a business. So. The next part about page setup is to choose a URL for yourself. You'll see that screen as you're going through the process. And after this presentation, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm actually going to go to a Facebook page, and I'm going to show you these things live. This is just a description so you know what I'm doing when we get there. But again, I already discussed this. Putting your website URL is something a lot of people forget, and in fact, I have a Facebook page for myself. I like to write music reviews, and I forgot to put my website URL, and I'm a web developer. So there you go. It does happen, and it's okay to forget. You can always go back, but definitely do put your URL in the short description. And remember that all of these fields, even if they seem like a nuisance, they're one time. Yes, you can edit them, but do make sure that you fill in the fields when you're creating your page to begin with, because they do allow for people to search for you. Here's the photos. So I grabbed this little image that actually tells you photo sizes. So the cover photo that you see on Facebook pages and on profiles is 851 pixels by 315. So it's horizontal, and it's longer versus wider. So the depth, it's hard. Sometimes you cut people's heads off when you try to put pictures in there. So just be cognizant of that. I recommend having a profile photo, which is the small square, the 180 by 180, without many words in it. I've seen people try to cram words in there. They want their company name to be in their profile photo, but then when it shows up as the tiny little icon next to your post or your comment, you can't read it. That's frustrating. And if this is the little tiny icon that people see whenever they see your business mentioned on Facebook, you want it to be something that they'll remember, but something simple. So do keep that in mind. In addition, with cover photos, I do recommend swapping them out, and sometimes that's not easy to do, but think about maybe quarterly, because then you can do it by season, or if you have a big event coming up that you know you have in the fall, you could create or have a designer create a Facebook cover photo for that event and post it for the month that that event runs in. So they're very visually appealing if you do them right. People like photos, particularly on social media. So being cognizant of your cover photo and swapping it out every now and then is very important. Now, you may be in a business that does not allow you to do that, and if that's the case, your hands are tied. But if you are starting a whole new page and you want a best practice, I do recommend changing that out. So here is what is called the Vanity URL. It used to be with Facebook, when you created a page, you had to get 25 likes from the public before you were allowed to have a Vanity URL. Now you can do it right off the bat. So when I was creating my testing page to take this screenshot, I chose test session as my Vanity URL. The way that you change this for yourself so that you're not just one big long number is to go into the settings, and as you're going through the process of creating a page, these settings are accessible right off the bat. It's where Facebook takes you to when you are creating a page. But I will also show you how to access them if you have an older page that you're trying to revamp. So you would go into page roles, and in page roles is your Facebook web address, and you can change that. You can change it after you've made it. So if you had a vanity URL that you need to change now, you can do that. I don't highly recommend that, because particularly if you have it in publications and brochures that you've already sent out to clients, because if you change it, it's like any other link on the website. You're going to have a broken link if people try to go to your old one. So here we get into, we've created our page. It's done. It's those easy steps. Yes, it's time consuming because you have to fill in all the fields, but it's very, very easy to create a Facebook business page. And now what do you do with it? So I have this little image here that says focus on the conversation. People who've talked to me regarding social media know that being social is the point that I really try to drive home. It's very important to be social on social media, hence the social media. So I kid, but don't worry about how many likes you have. Worry about who's engaging with you. So what do? You have a new Facebook business page, and you have one like, and it's yourself. That's not a very good feeling. We all want friends, right? I remember being a little girl in the school bus when I was in elementary school and literally asking people to be my friend. Yes, it felt a little awkward then, and it's going to feel a little awkward now, but that's what you have to do. In the very beginning, when you've created your first Facebook business page, you send it to your friends. You send it to your colleagues, and you say, hey, we have this new page. Go to the page and like it. So you're going to use your judgment. You might have a Facebook profile that has 500 friends that you've known since you were 10 years old, and you've found yourselves on Facebook keeping up with each other. Not all of them are going to want to know about your garden center. So use your judgment, be selective, and only invite them once. Don't continue to harass them. Another thing that sometimes people are not aware of is that you can import people. So if your business has a mailing list that you send out newsletters to, you already have their permission to send out those email newsletters to them. So you can import that list into Facebook, and it will send out a blast to them to alert them to your new page and to recommend that they like the page. A grassroots approach. So one of the things that Facebook does very well, I feel, is their developer content. So they will allow you to have all of these buttons and links, and you can take the blue color, that Facebook blue color, give it to your designer and have them create something that says, like our garden center page on Facebook. It doesn't have to be just generic, but where do you put that information? I suggest making sure you have buttons on your website, in your email signature, on business cards. You could have facebook.com/whatever that URL is that you chose, so make it something short. And then if anybody gets brochures from you, we have a just-in-time parenting mailed brochure that goes out. You let them know, hey, we have this new Facebook page, so if you want to get more information, then you can come here and we're going to keep it updated. You can also remind people or reintroduce them if you're trying to revamp a page that you've already created. You know what I'm noticing is that none of my images are showing up in my presentation here. I had all these fun images and they're not showing up. I might have to go back and show you all my fun images after this presentation's done, because really, they made it very witty. But anyway, here you hear my spiel again on being neighborly. So pages can like other pages, and I will show this when I share my screen in a little bit. So when you log in and you are acting as your page, you can go like other pages. So you can like other garden centers, and you can comment and like and engage with them, and then they'll reciprocate. So it doesn't mean to pitch your own agenda, because nobody wants that. You don't want to go outside and say hi to your neighbor and then have them tell you all the stuff that they just did at work. You want to, you know, be neighborly, and social media is about being neighborly, not pitching your own agenda, and I think a lot of the time people forget that. So we just need to be cognizant of that. There's a picture. So Facebook developers. If you were to go to HTTPS, it's a secure site, developers.facebook.com, there's all kinds of information there to help you understand Facebook, but there are also plugins. And what they are the like button, the share button, a send button, there's a like box, and you put in your page URL into that area, and it creates a widget for you that you can then put on your website. So you would be able to do that and send the embed code that it gives you to your web developer, or if you do that yourself, it makes it very easy. It's just a line of code that you put into the website, and then it adds these buttons to your pages. Another thing I thought I'd share is the QR code. Now this is done through something called spotlight.com. So you open up your Facebook page in one tab of your browser, and you open up spotlight.com in another tab of your browser, and you put the link in, and it creates this little QR code, and you can save the image to your desktop. Once you save it to your desktop, you can share it on Twitter, or you can share it by printing it out, putting it on the bottom of a poster that you have for an event, and then if people have a smartphone, they can scan that QR code and it will bring up your Facebook page. I've been seeing this done more and more and more, particularly when people have maps. So if you are in a big business center and there's a map and you want your website to be associated, you put a QR code on, and then no matter where they are, it will still bring them to this thing. So like our botanic gardens, our idea is to put a QR code on at different points of the map. People scan it, and then we can tell them about that specific garden. So QR codes are becoming more popular, and smartphone users can get those applications for free to scan them. It appears that my presentation slides are also a little bit out of order, but this is a screenshot to tell you about how you can import contacts. So when you're in your page settings and you go to Build Audience, which you can see the drop-down in the top right of that screenshot, that's where you import contacts. And you can see that you can import from a CSV Excel sheet. You can import from Constant Contact or MailChimp or Vertical Response. Those are all e-newsletter platforms that people have been using. I have used Constant Contact and MailChimp. I have not used Vertical Response, but both of them export their contact lists as like an Excel sheet, so it's really all the same. But you can invite people to like your page based on those contact lists. So my freshman year of college, my favorite professor was teaching us cultural diversity, and every time we had a class, he would tell us it was a 5-minute time for edutainment. And he would pull up a YouTube video about whatever topic we were going to be talking about, and that's how he would introduce the topics. So that word has stuck with me, and that is what I think is very important for social media, is to remember the word edutainment. Because people are not just going to Facebook for news and education information. They're also going there to be entertained, to have something more casual, to have something fun, see something that's going to make them smile. So we need to try to do all of that. And we can. You just have to have a variety when you're posting. I do say that even if you're being funny, be sure to still be honest. So here's my little Jetson robot picture. I think it's very important for people to remember that even though you're in a business world and you're trying to be incredibly professional so people take you seriously, when you are on social media platforms, your personality or lack thereof will shine through. So if you're not being yourself, then no personality will shine through. And we are not a robot. Robots cannot do our job. So we have to be ourselves. And you need to be real when you're on Facebook. So you can talk, you can throw in something funny or witty or snarky. I mean, you're not going to be rude or disrespectful. You're just going to throw in the way that you talk. Type it out the way that you would say it to a friend. Go back, edit anything that needs to be edited, and then post it. So keeping up with posts. I know that this is a main concern for a lot of the people that I work with. I'm asking them to post more frequently, and they're saying, when? And I kid with them, well, in your 25th hour. So we don't have a 25th hour. And Facebook realizes that and allows us to schedule things in advance. So in this screenshot here, you'll see when you post something, there's now a little tiny clock icon in the bottom left corner of your posting area. And if you click that, it brings up the date and time. So you can schedule out 6 months in advance. I use Hootsuite at the University of Delaware, and it allows me to do bulk scheduling. So right now, if I were to go on my scheduler, I know I have things scheduled out a week. So for the whole rest of the week and into the beginning of next week, I already have my posts for Facebook and for Twitter scheduled. That doesn't mean if something comes up that I can't add it in there. It just means I know if I had a really, really busy Wednesday, I don't need to worry about Facebook or Twitter. I already have something scheduled for it. Most of the time, we know what we're doing in advance. I know that there's going to be a pest management walk on August 7th. I can schedule that to run on August 5th to remind people about the walk, to remind them to register, to remind them to get more information. So if you have brochures and newsletters that your colleagues send out in an email and you see something cool come in, schedule it right then, and then you don't have to worry about it. It's already in the system. So one thing that does come up sometimes is we have an event, and I feel like I'm just talking about Ag Day, for instance. I'm talking about Ag Day every time I post on social media. I know I'm going to start annoying people. It annoys myself. So just switch it up. You can talk about something more than once on social media, but don't do it every hour. You can post in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, and have some content in between there. So if I posted about Ag Day this morning, I could post about Ag Day again maybe tomorrow night. And I'm going to hit completely different audience from the morning on a Wednesday to a Thursday night. So that's how you do it. Don't nag people. Don't blast people. Make sure that you switch things up. So another thing that comes up, and I know people worry about this, and I've seen it myself. You're at an event, a public event, and there's a photographer there, and they end up posting a picture, and you just have this weird face on, and you just, why did they post that? So be cognizant of that now that you will be a page admin. If you have photos that you're going to post, just look at them. If you don't want somebody to post that picture of you, then don't post it of them. So it seems common sense, but sometimes you're in a hurry and you don't think about it. If their eyes are shut and their mouth is open and they look like they're catching flies, don't post their photo because they're not going to engage with that post, and most likely nobody else is either, and they may just hide that post. Once somebody hides a post, and if it's because it was an embarrassing photo, how sad it is that that's the post that they're hiding, you'll lose them. They're not going to see your content in their news feed anymore. And we all know it's very difficult to have our content be seen in news feeds because we're combating against the other 500 brands and businesses that they like on Facebook. So another thing, common sense here, do not post about religion or politics. Maybe you have an organization that's affiliated with a religion or affiliated with politics, and it's okay. But for most cases, it's not going to benefit you to have that posted. So I have my little image here that makes me laugh. Your relentless political Facebook posts finally turned me around to your way of thinking. Said nobody ever. So on your business and organization, not to do it. Definitely don't. And in that stream of thinking. If there is some sort of national disaster or something that happens in your region that is just very upsetting news and you have things posted for that day, it's a good idea to unschedule them or not post them, wait to the next day. Being respectful on social media is very important. We know when there are tragedies, people will post candles and post nice things because everyone reaches out. So if they see in their news feed a whole stream of all of their friends being very respectful, and then they see your post that had been scheduled a week in advance about something completely unrelated, they may be like, what are the, where are these people? Don't they know what's going on? So you don't want that. Admin versus page fan. So when you create a Facebook business page, it is connected to your Facebook profile. People cannot see your Facebook profile from your page. You can see that connection. So if you were logged out and logged in as someone else, you would not see that I'm the admin for something. You would not see that so-and-so is an admin for something. However, that is how you log into Facebook, through your personal account. And then you see a drop-down in which you can use Facebook as your page identity and not as your own personal identity. So there have been times when I did not realize I was logged in as myself and not as my page, and I was posting things. All of it was absolutely fine. So I didn't do anything that was going to get me kicked out, but you do need to be cognizant of that, and I will show you how you can do that when I share my screen with you. But another thing on this image makes me laugh is when people like their own status updates. We know that you like it. You wrote it. So why would you like it? However, if you are logged out as your Facebook admin self and you're logged in as your personal self, you can go like it. And people will say, oh, Christy Mannering liked something on the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Now my friends and family know I'm liking my own post, but the rest of the public doesn't. So just know about that when you're doing it. Rewards. So how do you keep your fans engaged? Well, thank them when they start to follow you. Thank them for commenting. Talk back with them when they comment. When they say, oh, that's a great photo, or oh, that's a great idea, say, oh, thank you. We're glad that you appreciated it, and we'll share more stuff like that. Incentives, if you have coupons, if we have a U-Dairy Creamery coupon that we're able to offer, we could say our next 10th fan will get a U-Dairy Creamery coupon and then offer that to them. Also contests. You know how you see those couples contests, the magazines that have couples contests, and they post a picture of themselves and they have the story of why they're the best couple, and then the top 5 voted couples end up getting shared on that Facebook page, and everyone says, oh, well, you can do that with your business or organization. Maybe it's for them to say what their most fun summer activity is. Maybe it's their favorite flower in their garden. Maybe it's to vote on what's the best squash recipe. So there's a lot of different ways to do that to get engagement, and you'd be surprised if you start a conversation how much feedback you can get. You just need to be diverse with it and switch up text posts versus picture posts, and people will end up engaging with your site, and it's really exciting when that happens. The metrics. I am going to show you this when I share my screen, but there are 2 tools that I have used before that are good tools. One of them is free, likeawiser.com, and it will evaluate the activity on your page and tell you what type of post people are more likely to engage with, which I find very useful information. And then there's crowdbooster.com. It is a paid tool. I think it's $9.99 a month. But not only does it provide analytics and recommendations, it will also tell you who your most engaged followers are. And when you find out who your 10 most engaged followers are, you can also offer incentives that way. You can say, thank you, so-and-so, for engaging with our page the most this last couple weeks. We want to give you a U-Dairy Creamery coupon. And then people say, oh, well, they're getting coupons out to people who engage the most, and that's very useful. And it doesn't have to be a coupon that costs you money. It could be one of your calendars. It could be a promotional pen. It could be magnets. It could be a coloring book. It depends on your field, but there's all different things that you can do to get people to engage. Think about what makes you engage and then do that. And then with these tools, like Eliza and Crowd Booster, you can get the metrics and see what's working best. What I'm going to show you in just a minute is the Facebook Insights, which I feel are very, very helpful, and they continue to give more in-depth, detailed feedback on your page, which I think is very beneficial. Here is my personal page, but up in the, hopefully you can see my mouse, if you pull that teeny tiny little arrow down, you can see use Facebook as. So screen to bring me up. That's my music reviews. Braised brown bags is my son's page. Here's UD's cooperative extension. Let's click on that. Now you can see it no longer says Christy Mannering Stefan here. It says UD Cooperative Extension. I am now using Facebook as UD Cooperative Extension, not as Christy. So anything I type, anything I like, anything I do is going to be on behalf of UD Cooperative Extension. So here's Build Audience. This is where you can promote your page by creating ads. $5 can get you views to 5,000 more people. It's really not expensive, but I don't have time to get into that right now. This is where you import contacts. Here's your activity. See, I told you it has the little red icon. It tells me I have 3 new bits of activity on the cooperative extension page. I can see who they are, people who've messaged me. Here's my notification. Let's see. So I have different people have liked something, liked a photo, liked a link. These different people, you can see them all on a giant list. It's helpful to see, because if here I see Delaware Sea Grant has commented on something, now I can click on Delaware Sea Grant, see what they're writing about. So let's go into the insights. This is where you can get completely geeky. So I apologize if you think I'm already being completely geeky, because that's just I am a self-proclaimed geek. But this Facebook Insights recently updated. This is our overview for the last, was that a week? Last week. This will tell you exactly how many new likes a page has gotten. It'll tell you the reach for your page. We haven't done any paid ads, so all of our reach has been organic. So on June 21st, we organically reached 611 people. We do not have 611 likes yet. This UD Cooperative Extension page is like a year old. We have 354 likes. So on June 1st, our insights tell us that we reached double the amount of people who actually like our page, which to me that's absolutely fascinating. And how does that happen? It happens through engagement. Let me go to the overview page, because this is, I'm going to scroll down here and pass all these graphs and numbers, because that can get overwhelming. So here, your 5 most recent posts, you can see all of them now. You can see all your posts. Let's look at what we posted on June 21st and see what spiked us. Well, we have this one. So this was posted on June 21st. It's not the one who got us the spike, though. This one reached 96 people. It was about this delightful looking growth on this oak tree. But here's where it tells you all of the interesting information. So let me slowly go through that again. When you have clicked on Insights, and you can go to Overview or scroll down, or you can go to Posts, you scroll down past your graphs, and you see all the posts you've published. And then it will tell you, once you click on it, let's click on this one. Here's a fun camp picture, harness racing, that is going on right now. We've been getting tons of cute kid pictures. So this post has reached 85 people. And if you look down here where my mouse is right now, we have 2 likes and 1 share. So how did we get 6 likes? Well, that's because whoever shared it ended up getting likes. So 3 people clicked on the photo. 1 person clicked on this link here, which gives them more information about the camp. And this data is very important. If you end up doing annual reporting, you can go back through all of your posts and get the one that has the most likes, the most engagement, and say exactly the amount of impact you had on that post. This tells you what posts are successful. let's see, we have this edible landscape post did not do very well for us. So, okay, here it is. It's an event. So this event's coming up on Wednesday, July 9th, and maybe it will end up doing well on July 9th, but right now it's reached 7 people. Nobody's clicked on it, nobody's shared it. It doesn't have a photo, it doesn't have text, it's just an event. It has the potential to reach more people on July 9th when it comes up in the event calendar. So it's just very interesting. We do Throwback Thursdays on the extension page. Now here again, let's go through and you see my pages that I'm affiliated with. Oh, the U Dairy Creamery, I forgot. Here's the University of Delaware's College of Agriculture page. So our insights, we just got a new friend, a new like. That's what that little red alert is for. And it shows our engagement has actually been down, which is not a surprise because our students graduated a month ago. So summer is very slow for us, but it allows a lot of time for me to experiment with what I'm posting. So we just posted this at 12:15. It was scheduled. I was talking with you guys at 12:15. So it posted. It's a link to a story our writer, Adam Thomas, wrote. It has a video, a really cool video of a hot air balloon trip the landscape ecology class took. And it just goes over a big habitat area, and they point out different things. Very cool. So you can see this post has reached 1,232 people organically, not paid. And we do not have that many people who like our page, so here we've reached above and beyond. And it tells you how many people have clicked on it, very useful. How many people shared, 12 people shared it. From their shares, we got 8 more shares, and 12 more people clicked on the post. So you can go through.
Thank you for watching our archived presentation of our Wednesday webinar. If you would like to see more archived Wednesday webinars, please visit our YouTube channel, or to find a schedule of upcoming live webinars, visit our website.